Hi, it's Rishi Kavi Raghudas from Star Presence Astrology, here to give the astrological forecast for Sunday, February 2nd, 2025. Well, everyone knows it's Groundhog Day! Bill Murray's least favorite day of the year, at least until the end of the movie. I have a sudden urge to hear Sonny and Cher. I got you, babe. Anyway, it's not only Groundhog Day, it is also the feast of St. Bridget. That's right, if you are of the Christian persuasion. The feast days generally come papered over pagan holidays, and this is indeed one because it is the midpoint. Well, tomorrow's the midpoint, but the feast is celebrated tonight. It is the midpoint between the previous solstice and the upcoming equinox. So here in the northern hemisphere, it is, of course, halfway to the vernal or spring equinox. That is what's coming up tomorrow, so the celebration is this evening of all about that. So it is considered a sacred day in many different variations. Now, it happens that the astrology today is also pretty positive. I always, of course, say your experience may vary, and remember that these positive aspects come in the middle of some very difficult, larger general aspects. So, take what you can get today. The sun today is at 13, moving to 14 degrees of unconventional and sometimes visionary, sometimes just strange and weird air sign of Aquarius, and the moon today is moving through the early to mid degrees of impetuous and raw energied fire sign Aries. So we're here in the red, as we always are when the moon is in Aries, and the blue for Aquarius. And because of some of the fortunate aspects today, we've got gold for the sun as well, as you will see. The first aspect that the moon in Aries makes is indeed a harmonious sextile, 60-degree angle. And in fact, there are only 3 aspects today, and they are all sextiles. Now, the sextile is the midpoint between the 30-degree initiating angle called the semi-sextile and the trine, the lovely flowing angle that is totally flowing. And so this is the midpoint between those two, and the 60-degree angle represents kind of an opportunity, an open door, kind of, well, everything is good and harmonious. And there are 3 lunar aspects today, and they're all sextiles. The first of which occurs when the moon gets to 8 degrees of Aries and makes a sextile to Mercury, the planet of communication, which is currently at 8 degrees of Aquarius. That occurs in the morning, 8:35 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 11:35 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 4:35 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, and that is good for communication. So you got something to get off your chest, that's a good time to do it. Even better is when the moon, when it moves to 11 degrees of Aries, makes a sextile to Jupiter, the planet of good fortune and expansion, at 11 degrees of Gemini. This is a very fortunate, forward-looking, let's think big kind of energy. 12:03 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 3:03 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8:03 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. Nice and optimistic, and emotions should be harmonious, and we should have a lot of largesse in our heart. Then the moon does make a sextile to the sun itself from 14 degrees of Aries in the evening to the sun at 14 degrees of Aquarius, which is why we have the gold for the sun and the moon. Get it? 5:23 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 8:23 p.m. 5:23 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 8:23 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and 1:23 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time. The moon in Aries, the red, sextiling the Aquarius sun, and there's the gold for the sun. So now you got my color scheme for today. I'm Rishi Kavi Raghudas from Star Presence Astrology. Now, if you would like to have a personal reading with me and take a look at what the rest of 2025 has in store for you, you can book it on my website, starpresence.net. Remember, from the very moment that you're born, you've got star presence. Enjoy this day, no matter what.